Welcome to another Sky Temple match here on Khaldor TV. Fnatic is going up against Dignitas today, and the compositions that we're having for the two teams are very interesting. Fnatic, first of all, is playing a composition that once again circles around Illidan, but they also combine it with Tyrael and with Anub'arak. And Anub'arak in general has been played a lot already in the newest patch. The teams experiment with the Beetle build, and Fnatic is actually playing something here that also reminds a bit of what Team Arthas has been doing in the past, because not only do they have, once again, this very tank-heavy meta, but they also rely on a lot of blood for bloods on level 16, which is going to be very difficult for Dignitas to handle. Dignitas, on the other hand, they picked up a hero that they really liked to play in the last patch already. They are trying to play it with the Lost Vikings here, and they also went for Muradin as a counter to Illidan. Muradin, of course, got buffed in the last patch with his Reverberation talent on level 1 for Thunderclap, and that's extremely strong now against Illidan. So we're going to find out if Dignitas is going to be able, with the lane soaking of the Vikings and Muradin as a counter to Illidan, to win this game here, or if Fnatic will take the match on Sky Temple. So guys, get ready. Dignitas versus Fnatic coming up next.
Welcome everybody to the game between Dignitas and Fnatic. To the left side of our semi-final map of Sky Temple, we have Dignitas with Chris playing Jaina, Linked on Rhaegar, we have Blood Dragon on Muradin, Tomze playing Tassadar, and Nurok on the Lost Vikings. To the right side of the map, it is Lowell playing Illidan for Fnatic, we have Frats on Tyrael, it is Ace of Spades with Brightwing, Kesa with Vala, and Shinobu with Anub'arak. We are in the Khaldor patch, and we can already see a few heroes that got changed quite a bit, and of course we want to talk about the builds and also the changes. Let's just start with our good old Vikings down here. If that longbow heroic ability that they usually use gets taken out, then all of the Vikings are in a 1.5 second stun, and that of course makes them very vulnerable to the opponent. Talking about vulnerable, Chris is quite vulnerable to what's happening up at the top here. A 5-man move by Fnatic to take down the first target, and Lowell, he is hungry. His Illidan, his blades tasted blood and he wants more. The early kill against Jaina, job well done here already by them. But yeah, talking about the changes in the game, another big change of course was the one to Anub'arak, because he is now in a position where he has finally a bit of a better AI on his beetles, and that already triggered a lot of people trying to run a beetle build on Anub'arak, and this game is no exception here, as we're having Assault Scarab taken on level 1, and already Shinobu moving in. They're trying to go for Nurok, the double stun and the kill. Well done here. Good rotations from Fnatic, very dynamic so far. Of course, the counter move against Illidan was to go for Muradin and use the Reverberation talent on level 1, and that got buffed by Blizzard in the patch now as well, so it's even better against auto-attack heroes like Vala, like Illidan, and therefore it was a great talent or a great hero to take here in the draft against the setup that they are running. Besides that, we're having now on the side of the Vikings, Viking Horde taken. That's not really a big surprise, it's pretty common to see that. And another thing that I want to point out here is that we're having the scouting drone on Brightwing, which of course is still unchanged from the last patch, so you have your 2 charges that you can use. And of course, one more thing we have in this case, Purge Evil, the Smite talent taken on Tyrael. It's an interesting setup that Fnatic is running. They've been running a similar one already in their first game today, where they're going into a mass melee composition. They had 3 tanks, 3 warriors earlier. This time they're running 2 warriors and 1 melee assassin. And it's just that the numbers really got changed a whole lot. ETC, for example, is a bit more of a support than anything else right now. I mean, he's still like one of those frontliners that can do quite a lot of this. He has a lot of disruptive moves, but he's also one of the heroes that can suddenly support more and is relying more on a utility build than anything else. It's pretty weird if you're thinking about the old ETC, but those changes definitely came into play. Ho! Yeah, Lowell going a bit too deep here at this point, and he's dying, but still 2 kills against 1, and a nice experience lead here for Fnatic. I mean, just look how tanky they are in the mid lane. That is super aggressive what they're doing here, and those beetles are doing work. Blood Dragon losing that fort, that was of course very annoying. Level 6 versus level 5, and this is of course the trade, because up at the top lane we're seeing Dignitas going strong against this one in particular, especially after they captured those temples. So this is actually like a very drastic start for both of those teams, going straight for it. In this case, we're having again the Healing Ward taken on Tassadar. We're seeing the Thunderburn as the level 4 talent, and Arcane Intellect as Vala is taken out. Look at that. Vala claimed she's dead already. Legion of Beetles has been taken here on Anub'arak. besides that, not really anything big happening in regards to the challenge choices that they're having today. Down to the bot lane, Shinobu and those Beatles are still trying to push in, and we're having, of course, camps taken by both of the teams throughout the map. We're having siege giants for both of them starting to move in, and what, of course, Nurok is going to try and do is split one of those Vikings up to the top lane so that he can start soaking experience one that's at the bottom shrine is available. Level 7 is faster for Fnatic, and they are using that to get now the standard talents for their heroes. Maybe with the exception on, once again, the Anubarak. The Leeching Scarabs are taken here. The full Beetle build on the side of Anubarak. And that's, of course, exactly what people wanted to see after this patch. We're having Muradin going for battle momentum instead of the piercing bolt, which would have been another choice that he could have gone for. And besides that, we are seeing standard builds for the rest of the Dignitas lineup here. It's going to be interesting to see how much those Vikings can really impact the game in this case, because they will have to do a whole lot of work. The setup that we're seeing for Fnatic is extremely strong. They have a very, very good... They have two initiators that can jump in together with Illidan, who just does his thing, while Vala should be able to get a lot of damage in from the backline, since there will be nobody to really disturb her unless Blood Dragon is willing to jump over the rest of the team and go straight for Vala, and that would, of course, expose the rest of the Dignitas setup here. For now, we're having both teams aiming for level 10, trying to get it as soon as they can. Rhaegar at the top, actually taken out by Fnatic here. A bit too far out. They went for the dog and they got it, and they had to put it down. So the move down to the bot lane, where the temple is now ready to be captured, but 9.5 the experience levels here. We have the split Viking at the top, trying to get the XP. Oh, also claiming Ace here, making sure that he can't TP in. Down to the bot lane, of course, Fnatic is executing a lot of pressure, but at the same time, we're having Dignitas realizing that they can't go for the temple at the bot lane, so instead they just go for the mid lane and say, alright boys, we got this. We're gonna go for the mid-temple, sorry, not for the temple, but they go for the fort here. They're just trying to counter-push, but level 10 hits now, and that's when they have to start to be extremely careful about what they do. We're seeing the Locust Swarm taken again. We're having Metamorphosis, Judgment, Blink Heal, and Strafe as the rogue abilities for Fnatic. Pretty standard moves here by them. And, wow, a ballsy move with that 10 there, trying to go straight for the boss. Like, they have some balls of steel, and they are not afraid to put them on the table here. That 10 is going to hit any second now for Dignitas, and that Fnatic is really thinking that they can use that tiny window that they have to take down the boss. That is ballsy. There's the level 10 for their opponent with a long bow, with Ancestral Healing, Water Elemental, and Archon, and immediately they're moving in. Lowell saves himself with a quick Metamorphosis. Chris is being attacked, but healed by Rhaegar. Good Ancestral Healing, but we are having the kill against Tomze. Tacit are not surviving here. Vala is extremely low, but Blood Dragon dies first. Chris is trying to get away together with Linked. Oh my god, I can't believe that Fnatic was just like turning it like this. Chris is going down as well. Fnatic, they start the boss at 10. A few seconds later, Dignitas hits their heroic ability as well and tries to go in. Fnatic doesn't really care. They just jump them immediately and take them down. Even after that great save that we saw from Rhaegar with the Ancestral Healing, they didn't care a bit. They even kept Kesel alive here, which is incredible considering that he was nearly dying like twice. Suddenly we have a 5 versus 5 again. The boss is there, but we're having Dignitas back in action. Those death timers are extremely low. Whoa, but those stuns! Look at that slaughter that we're seeing here. Kesel so low. Oh no! What the hell was that? That was just a double, a triple. I don't know what that was, but everything just exploded in a second. That was insane. That was crazy. That was really crazy. I mean, that Brightwing, everybody just jumping in there, and Dignitas, suddenly their entire strategy, their entire setup is completely demolished. Chris is being jumped. Lowell, I mean, this guy's a monster on Illidan, and he just jumps in. He's out for blood. His hatred is unending, as he said in a broadcast on Battle.net earlier, and we see exactly why. Like, this kid just doesn't know when to stop, jumps in, takes another kill. 10, 11 kills against 3, and with that boss, they're going straight for the keep. 2 shrines are active on the map, and they're starting to move back. They have to really drag Lowell away from their opponent. He's like, there's fresh meat. He's like the Butcher in Diablo 1 and 2. I mean, he's moving in and trying to get his kills. Lowell on Illidan is just absolutely scary. It's a bit like Black Scorp on Zeratul, and once again in the mid lane, that's where the fight happens. The 13 talent is there. Dignitas, they cannot take it, or can they? We are seeing face shield again. We're having the imposing will taken, and here comes once again the Fnatic lineup with the Nubarak now also relying on the symbiotic armor to just survive a bit longer. Fred's already about to jump in, and he goes straight for it. Stun against Jaina. Lowell is low, but he survives somehow, gets another shield. Ace of Spades keeping everybody alive here. Oh my god, like how does Brightwing do it? I mean, I'm giving that little fairy dragon a lot of shit lately, but still, like, that is really amazing. Keeps everybody alive there, and Dignitas is getting wrecked right now. So much momentum building up on the side of Fnatic. This is crazy. They're just like going and taking kill after kill after kill. I mean, Dignitas definitely with a very desperate move here in the mid lane. Normally you would not try an attack being one talent down, since you know that you're in trouble, but they're not even close to winning one of those fights. They're 3 level behind right now. Just look at the numbers that we are seeing here. The Nubarak with pretty solid damage as well, the hero damage on par with Illidan, and he also has quite a bit of pushing power here thanks to the siege damage that he was able to dish out. But this game is quite something. Once again, if you're a bit surprised about the overlay that we're using here and what exactly changed with that, the patch screwed the user interface up quite a bit. Big shout out to Ali SC2 on Twitter, who actually took care of the user interface so that we at least have this emergency version so that we can show you that, because believe me, the last patch screwed the old user interfaces over completely. So right now we can at least use this one. If you wanted to use that user interface for yourself to watch replays or maybe even to cast, then you can head over to Twitter. Ali SC2 is the Twitter account, Ali with an AH, and yep, this guy is amazing. And so is Illidan jumping in again, and Chris, I mean, Jaina doesn't even know what's going on in this game. Like, she is getting wrecked once she appears on the map, and Blood Dragon, I mean, this tanky dwarf is trying to do what he can, but he's no Ghibli. Taken down again. Oh my god! Like, there's just no escaping from this lineup, is there? Look at them, they're trying to escape, but every single time they're just running into another wall, and the chase is really complete wipe, except for those 2 Vikings that are somehow trying to resist, but there is just no resistance. This is too much. The keep is already down, and lol, I mean, the flames are on. Everything. There's a quadruple blood for blood now as well. We haven't even talked about this too much. We've been talking about it in the draft just a bit, but of course one of the big strengths that they have on level 16 is a quadruple blood for blood together with a critter rise. I mean, the blood for blood is bad enough, alright, but if you then have the disable on Brightwing and the additional damage on a single target, then of course it is absolutely out of this world what you can do in terms of raw damage. And that's exactly what we've been seeing. Level 16, if you're running up against the blood for blood comp, what you usually try to do is to just get ahead before that happens. And Dignitas was never able to do that. They were never able to get ahead. Like, look at the level difference. 13 versus 17. They are just basically waiting to get slaughtered here because Fnatic, they finally have the setup in Poland. They got their internet right now. If you're not familiar with the story, Fnatic has been for weeks actually already at a team house in Poland, but they were running into problem after problem. First the PCs weren't good enough, then the internet turned out it was not the one that they ordered. It was not good enough, didn't have the upload that they needed to play with 5 people. And now finally, I think like roughly 3 days ago, they finally got their right internet. Everything is set up right now. They can get the practice in, and it already shows. They're really playing well here. And I was pretty happy for them when they finally said, alright, now we can concentrate on practicing, we can concentrate on training. We are not where we want to be just now, but we can finally take care of it. And they are going to try it with this patch, and so far they're doing good. 4 levels ahead in Dignitas. They are desperately trying to hold on somehow. They still have 2 keeps available, and they're trying to defend them. We're having on 13 the healing surge taken. Rhaegar, he wants to get those healing numbers in. Polymorph. On the side on the polymorph, but Shrinkray taken on Tassadar, and this is going to get ugly as the boss is taken down at the bot lane again. We're having them going straight for it once more, and yep, there we go. The big beetle is down, and Nubarak is probably shedding a silent tear since he has to... is that his father? Like, I don't even know what that is, but it's definitely related to him. So, Nubarak is now suddenly, well, he's basically a kinslayer. And yeah, he's already moving back, and it just... There's 3 kills against 19. like reading this board right now, reading those numbers, you feel like this is a quick match with a 6-minute queue. But at this point, Dignitas, they were just running into a very bad comp. That quadruple blood for blood composition, they already knew when the draft happened that this would be trouble, and they were trying to do their best, but they never really got ahead in the game, and that's what we need to try and do against the quadruple blood for blood. Another keep is down, the boss is going for the keep. The draft just won by Fnatic already, and they are showing exactly why that is. Moving from camp to camp, very good movements on the map right now, and Dignitas is, I mean, they are desperate here. They need to win a fight, and they need to win it soon. They need the 16 talent for that. With that talent, they have a chance. They have a chance with the 16 talent to maybe change things, to maybe win one big battle and then turn things around here, but it's not going to be easy. Stoneform on Muradin is going to help, but all of that burst damage through those Blood for Bloods is going to be incredible. Blood for Blood here on the side of Rhaegar, and they're going for it. The 20 talent isn't there yet for Fnatic, and they're moving in already. Here we go. We have once again Chris being attacked. He goes for the ice block. Smart choice by the kid. Really well done, but immediately the stun against Linked here, and Jaina is dead anyways. Link trying to heal himself with an ancestral healing, but before that happens, he is dead. Here comes the attempted kill against Ace of Spades, but nobody is dying today. Muradin is already down, and there's still everybody up for Fnatic. They're jumping in against those Vikings. They're getting the first one, and these boys are lost in more than only one sense of the word. Once again, Nurog is going to lose them here. He's trying to go for the go and moving away, but already the core being attacked. Here goes Bearlock, and the only one surviving is Eric. Shinobu doesn't give a shit about Eric. He's like, yeah, what the hell do I care? They're going straight for the core now. This, ladies and gentlemen, is game. The 20 is there too. Fnatic with an absolutely splendid performance here wins the match against Dignitas. Congratulations. They advance to the final of the tournament and will face there probably NaVi in a best-of-3 series.
And Fnatic taking the game here. Dominant performance by them against Dignitas. Extremely well played. What you usually try to do against the Blood for Blood composition is to just dominate in the early game and really get ahead in the series. And that's something that Dignitas never really got off there. Even with the Vikings, they didn't get that experience lead that they were aiming for. Fnatic playing a great game throughout the entire series, trying to just use the tiniest advantage that they had to get farther ahead in the game. They did that very well, and once level 16 hit, there was just no escape anymore for Dignitas. So a great match by Fnatic, a really nice and entertaining game that we saw here in the new patch with the new meta, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this game as well. If you did, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube, drop a comment in the comment section, and boys, I'm going to see you next time for more Heroes of the Storm here on the channel. Have a great day. Bye bye.